Okay, we will begin our course today. First, I will teach you how to debug for your code. Well, let me take the 4.16 as an example. Here it says, what does the following program print? Well, currently we have our code like this, right? And then we copy it or we write it by our own to our own Java code in the IntelliJ. Then let me switch the view. So here is the same code with our textbook 4.16. Here is the code. Then let me run it. Okay, you already have the result here, right? Here it prints 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36 here. So what if someday you find the code is problematic and you want to debug it? Which is a word that you heard frequently in like maybe some other scenarios when you are talking something with your senior classmates or your friends or even your workmates. So how to debug this code? Usually, if you're using the IntelliJ or some other IDEs, there will be a debugger, built-in debugger, like in IntelliJ. This one. This is like a small flyer and some, I don't know what is the icon stands for, but it's a, some animal, we say. Okay, and then once we find this button, it indicates that, oh, it is debug mystery. Then let me terminate this output. And then the second step is, let's make a breakpoint. We say, let's make it here. Okay, if you can see the screen, watch the screen, and you can say that there is a red point, right? We call it is a breakpoint. Also, it indicates that it's a line breakpoint. Right click to edit. So we do not need to right click. We just using the left click to select this line. And then let's press this small animal button to see what is happening with our IntelliJ now. Okay, now there is another view here that we have some other toolbars there, and it indicates something, okay, we are not familiar with. Here it is asks, oh, we have 1 here, and we have the total equal to 0 here, right? So that means when I click the debugger, the button, and the code will run until the breakpoint, but we do not execute this line. I mean, in this case, that means the program will execute the line from line 1 to line 5 and then stopped, or we say paused at the line 6. And this is the parameters we currently have in our stack. Now, since we have already executed the line 3, so we have a variable that is x. And in the line 3, we assign 1 to the variable x. So that is why x is equal to 1. And that is the same thing with the line 4. So we have the variable that is total equal to 0. This is our stack value. And then how to run to the next line? So we can find there is some small buttons again here in the toolbar. We have here, the first one is return mystery, stop mystery, resume program. Okay, when we are using the debugger, we usually ignore the first 3. And then let's look at this one, step over, step into, and step out. This 3 is the most important thing in the debugger. So for this one, step into, that means we step into this program and then we execute this line. So let's try step into the 6th line. And then we have execute it. And the cursor, which is highlighted by the blue thing, now is moving to the line 7, right? And then we clicked again. Okay, great. As you can see here, in the line 7, it is using a gray symbols, or we say gray characters indicating Y column 1, X column 1, to mean that in this line, the X is 1, the Y is also 1. And also in here, in this section, we can also find that Y is added into this section. And it also indicates that Y is equal to 1. So debugger, that means we are observe the variables and their values and to analyze the whole program and its logic. And if there is something wrong with this code, okay, the variable and their values must be not as what we are expected. So let's debug the whole program. Then let's go next line. Here, total is equal to Y plus the original total, right? So let's go through the next line. As you can see, the total becomes 1 rather than 0. So let me stop it and run it again. And please focusing on the total, how it changed from 0 to 1. Okay, I will stop it and then rerun it. Okay, first we set the break point in line 6. And then we click this one, we click the debug button. Let's run it. And then the cursor runs to the line 6, which is highlighted by the blue here, right? And here it also indicates X equal to 1. And in the previous lines, it also indicates the variable values. X is 1, total is 0. And also in this section, we can observe all the variables we have. X is equal to 1 and total is equal to 0. So then we execute to the next line. We click the next step into, okay, seems no change because the while X is smaller or equal to 10 is just a statement, Boolean expression. And then let's run to the next line again. So here, before the line 8, we got a new variable, that is Y is equal to 1, right? Y is equal to the power of X power 2. And here, Y is equal to 1, X is equal to 1, total is equal to 0. Okay, be patient now. I will run to the next line. Okay, next line, total is still 0. And then after we executing the line 9, what will happen? What is the change to the total? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, I'll click it. Go. And then as you can see, total now is becoming 1. It's no longer 0. And let me execute the next line. Okay, let's go. And when the cursor moves to the 11th line, and here, as you can see, X, since it's used the self-incremental, so X becomes 2 now. So we can repeat the process. Let's go, step into, and then it will repeat the while statement, and then return to the line 6. And here it indicates X currently is 2. And let's see here, in line 7, X is still 2. After we execute the line 7, we got the 4. The new 4 currently is, the new Y currently is 4 because 4 is equal to X multiplied by X, which is 2 multiplied by 2, that is 4. That is the way how you debug your code. And here, to step out, that means, let's try. What happened? If I click step out, that means it will skip this round of iteration and go to a new iteration. And then let me step out again. As you can see, X is increased from 3 to 4. And if I click the step out again, okay, currently it's 5. And the total is 30, which means that if I click the step out, it will not iterate the loop one by one. It will give you the result for the whole loop in the end. So let me do it quickly and end this program. Fine. Now, since we have done with the code and this is the output for the program, and everything has been done. However, we still having one button that is step over. We do not try, right? So let me using the example from last week. Week 7, I think. Okay, here we're using the student test and the student. Let me close it. Now we have a student test here, right? So let me run it to observe what is the output. It says Jane's letter grade is C because we knew a student. Her name is Jane Green, and we assigned the average score to her is 72.75. And according to our settings here, students with grades above 70, below the 80, supposed to have a letter grade of C here, right? So how can I debug this program? So first, let me set a breakpoint. As usual, I set here. I just left click in the mouse, and then I have a red point here in the toolbar there. And after that, I click the debug button and I run it. So currently, as you can see in this stack section, it only indicates some arguments, right? Parameters, nothing is there. And what if I click the step into? Let's try. Okay, great. And you will find that the code is jumped from the student test to student.java, right? It automatically jumped to this related code. So let me close the debugger and try again. So I repeat this process. I close the student.java. And then currently in this view, you only have the one Java file, which is student test. And we set this breakpoint, and then we click the debugger. Great. And then currently we have nothing, and we only have student test.java in our menu bar. So let me click the step into. After I click the step into, it seems that we jumped from the student test.java to the student.java. That means when we are debugger and we are calling a method. This is the constructor, right? And when we are calling the constructor, the debugger will take our view to the code, the real code exists, which is the student.java here, will take us to this document. And then let's run the same thing, step into, go to the next line. Okay, here we said this name is equal to name. Currently, we have our parameters. As you can see, it is indicated by a green symbol that is parameters. These two parameters. And this dot name is null, and this average is 0 because we haven't assigned the parameters value to the instance variables. So let me execute this line of code. Once I click the step into, okay, let me try it. Please be focusing on the section or here. It's better to watch here. Like currently this name is null. And then please let me click the step into. Please observe what's the change to this name, this dot name. Okay, great. And now, as you can see, this dot name is becoming Jane Green. And something you can also observe that when you expand this name, this dot name, it's giving you something different, like the value. Okay, it's something 74, 97. Okay, what is that? And I will say that it is the character, the ASCII code for each character. Because although I don't know the ASCII code for the character J, but I remember the character for the ASCII code for the character A is 97, right? So that means these are the characters for the Jane Green. Okay, it is not so important, so I will not explain too much. And I will take back. And fine. And then we will go to the next line. Here, if average is over 0, and currently the average is 72.75. So we will run this line, the 12th line. Okay, I will step into, and step into. Okay, please focusing here. This average is equal to 1 in the bottom of the IntelliJ. It is indicating currently is 0. What if I execute step into and the cursor moves to the 13th line? Okay, fine, great. Here, when the cursor go down, and that means the 12th line has been executed, and we assign the average to this dot average, making this average change from 0 to 72.75. So that is how it assigns value to the Jane Green. So let's step into, that means this method has been done. And the following process is the normal process that it will output the letter grades for Jane Green. Here we have already created an account, right? Jane Green. And then we output. Okay, sorry, we still got method in the system.line. So we direct it to the student Java again, and then we return the name Jane Green. And then we go back to the line 5, as we still have another method that is the get letter grade. So if I click step into, let's see, you see the cursor moves to the get letter grade, and then it will direct to the get letter grade method again. I mean, directed to the student.java again, and go to the position where the get letter grade is existed. Hold on, I received an email. It's fine. Okay, let me continue this course. And then let's step into, since currently we are executing this method, so we will go through each line. Currently, the average is 72.75, and we compare it with the 90, 80 things until we find the matching statement here. Oh, it matched to this one. And then we find the letter grade, which is C, and then we return the letter grade to where it is calling. And that's done with this code. Okay, that is step into. So what if I using the step over? Okay, let me try it again. So if I using the step over here, great. it moves to the line 5 directly rather than go to the student.java. And then if I click to the step over, that means we no longer expand the method. And then the whole system ended and we get our output. And that is how we can use the debugger to debug our code. Okay, let me stop the recording.